Talk to him. Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Further ado, let's get into it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Yes, Lord. All right, let's move.
Real men are not liberal. Let's talk about it. In one of my last videos I did, I said that real men are not liberal. Just the fact that that exact statement in that video that I made got so much attention, it just shows that there's some truth to that statement. Obviously, parties do not define whether you're a real man or not, but the party that you affiliate with says a lot about your character and what kind of man you are. Real men lean more traditional because masculinity lies in its original truth, which is purpose and family. And mainstream society hates to hear that, but that is the truth. Conservatism leans more towards hard work and accountability and discipline. A man's man is going to lean more towards traditional values, which conservative parties lean more towards respecting those values. Every party affiliates with different morals and values. Left and right values and morals are completely different and are focused on complete different things. An exact political party doesn't mean that you're a real man, but affiliating and contributing to a specific political party 100% determines what kind of man you are. Real men lean more towards conservative values because those conservative morals and values contribute more towards a man being in his healthy masculinity and contributing to the actual family more so than the liberal morals and values do.
Hey, before they even get going, I'm going to tell y'all right now, even though I don't snowboard, even though I don't make snow angels, even though I don't bunny hop, I understand why people do. I understand why people do it. I understand why black men be with white women sometimes. I get it. PSA, fellas, I get it. Did y'all hear what she just said? I can't listen. My loyalty is with reality and with the truth. I'm here to crack the codes. So that's what it's about. Whether I got to be wrong today, you got to be wrong today, whatever it's got to be for us to get this figured out, we got to figure it out. I always say that women who will struggle in dating and struggle with relationship longevity, right? Those women can tell you how they feel a man ought to be. A woman that is a wife or fit to be a wife can tell you exactly how men are. One is from a position of entitlement, self-exaltation. Some would say narcissism. The other is from a position of results-based logic. If I want, as a woman, if she want to be with a man, she need to understand what a man want to be with and acquiesce. For the man, it's very much the same in some ways, but we are the leaders, and so in other ways, no. Did you hear how much sense this Caucasian sister was just making? And it's not a race thing. It's just like, I'm a black man. I cover a lot of black, and I'm not, my channel is not a race-based channel. It's not. I'll talk about everybody all the time. You know, I kind of actually stay away from like the black so heavy, but I got to point out the differences because I do panels with different men. Shout out to Souls of Thought. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with them. Shout out to Uncle Plug TV. Make sure y'all tap in with them on their YouTube channels as well. Great content, different from mine too. So you get some variety, some variations. But we do panels, man. And you know, a couple of the brothers, they snowboard, and they speak on how they get a different experience. Well, not they, but one of the brothers, he snowboard. He speak on how it's a different experience over there. Now, whether she faking or it's genuine, you still getting the presentation in front of you. Real or fake, you getting what you want. I'm gonna go back, listen to what she got to say, and then we're gonna dive into the chat to the panel. I don't have to rush because we got time. Let's go, chat.
Real men are not liberal. Let's talk about it. In one of my last videos I did, I said that real men are not liberal. Just the fact that that exact statement in that video that I made got so much attention just shows that there's some truth to that statement. Obviously, parties do not define whether you're a real man or not, but the party that you affiliate with says a lot about your character and what kind of man you are. Real men lean more traditional because masculinity lies in its original truth, which is purpose and family. And mainstream society hates to hear that, but that is the truth. Conservatism leans more towards hard work and accountability and discipline. A man's man is going to lean more towards traditional values, which conservative parties lean more towards respecting those values. Every party affiliates with different morals and values. Left and right values and morals are completely different and are focused on complete different things. An exact political party doesn't mean that you're a real man, but affiliating and contributing to a specific political party 100% determines what kind of man you are. Real men lean more towards conservative values because those conservative morals and values contribute more towards a man being in his healthy masculinity and contributing to the actual family more so than the liberal morals and values do.
Nasty, yeah. She cooked that. Uncle Plug said snowboarding. I'm not in the Alps, my boy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Shout out to Uncle Plug TV in the chat, man. 333, my dog. Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. My bad. I was just letting her get her rap off, man. But that sister made she made a lot of sense. Let's see what they got to say. Let's roll.
So I'm gonna come to Molly. Women are having a little bit of a debate, right? And I didn't play the other video that I had. I don't think it's necessary. Some women are saying, oh my God, I can't find a liberal man, a guy that aligns with me from a political party. You know, where's all of the liberal men at, right? A liberal men that want to really get into a relationship with a woman. And then on the flip side, you got women like her that's basically saying liberal men basically aren't real men, right? We don't want them. What do you think about this whole conversation about women saying that they can't find a man that aligns with them politically? And then the other side of the conversation where women are saying liberal men aren't really real men.
As far as liberal men not being, I'm not going to say real men. I don't want to say that, but not as masculine as conservative men. I do think that that's true because especially when we were going through the whole Kamala versus Trump political thing before the elections, before the elections took place on the Q show, we would see like a lot of the ideologies from the more liberal minded men. And it's not, if you're a woman who wants somebody to lead, a liberal man is not. It's just not, he's not it. I feel like liberal men serve too many masters compared to more conservative leaning men because they are more traditional. They do like the more traditional roles in households and relationship dynamics. And as far as liberal women looking for liberal men, I feel like I don't know how they're not finding them because they're out here. They need to go find them a black man. They're definitely out here. So
I think that most black men are more liberal.
For sure, yes. The worst thing you could be as a black man is a conservative black man. You're gonna be a bootlicker, you're gonna be a coon, you're gonna be everything, you're gonna be a sellout. You have to be liberal. So if that's what they're looking for, they definitely need to go and find them the average.
Yeah, listen, it's the lack of dads, yo. Let's get all the way into it. I'ma just go ahead and just cannonball straight into the pool. It's the lack of fathers. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times the difference between liberal men and conservative men, and I don't really like those terms, but we're gonna use them for the sake of the conversation. Let's do it. But a lot of times the difference really just be you got different types of men. There's not just a lot of people use alpha and beta, but they forgot about the rest of the pack. You got sigmas, you have omegas, right? You got ones that's right up next to the alpha that oftentimes may be sent in first, head in first to go see what's to what, right? You got the omegas, the scouts, you got, right? There's more than alpha and beta personality types amongst men, right? and amongst pack order. So you have to understand that first and foremost. But it's the lack of fathers. A lot of times men who have principles and morals and they set boundaries and they got lines, a lot of times they're going to be more stern when necessary. They're going to put they're going to put 2 feet firmly in the ground, you know, when it's necessary. Because they understand. They understand that makes 333 if my audio good, chat. But they understand that they got certain things that they have to do and they must be done. And you're not always going to be able to consider everyone's feelings or everyone's input. There's a time to just straight out, flat out lead. And those who do not want to follow don't want to come. Those that don't want to follow don't want to come. So I think a lot of times, you know, that leadership, that firmness, that understanding when to plant your feet, that discernment, that male intuition, that gut feeling, getting that curated, getting that cultivated, that comes from interactions with dad. Pops gave me the hypothetical understanding of, all right, when you go to your first house party, it's going to be these type of dudes there, these type of dudes there, these type of girls there, these type of girls there. It's going to be this type of body language, this type of behavior. This when you know it's time to leave. This how you handle it if the police pull up. This was Pops. You know? That was Pops. So for people who didn't have that voice from somewhere, it don't necessarily got to be Pops, but if you didn't get that voice from somewhere as a man, yeah, you grow up wanting to be partners with a woman. You grow up wanting to go collaborate with a woman. You know what I mean? Versus just being a flat out leader. And listen. A lot of dudes, they acquiesce because they want that thing so bad. They want that thing from that woman so bad. They acquiesce and they acquiesce and they acquiesce. That got to stop controlling you, champ. I'm talking to the fellas today. All this stuff, the whole episode about the fellas today. But that ain't gonna, like she said, they serve too many masters. A lot of men who are liberal, a lot of those dudes, they exalt women. You know, they exalt them. You forgot you were supposed to be leading them and you got them pedestalized. How you lead and you got them pedestalized? That's oxymoronic. But let's go. It's a long video, so let's roll.
It's 80% of black men. They out there. And
That's
they love them some liberal white women for sure.
You can't say average and then say 80%.
Above average.
Uncle Plug said, to follow means to listen. To listen is to learn and discern. So if these qualities as a man don't exist, you can't lead. Facts. And where we get those qualities from, Plug? Where we get those from? Pops, you know? Because men who didn't, you know, a lot of men who didn't have a strong male figure, because it don't got to be dad always, but a lot of men who didn't have a strong male figure, you know, they end up leading like a woman. And a lot of times women are led of emotions. So, you know, we need Pops, somebody, Pops, coach, somebody. But, you know, men teach men. Let's go.
So that's crazy. They be on dating apps. I don't know how they're not finding these men.
Carrie, what are your thoughts?
I think that it would be difficult to find the type of a man that you would really want. And I hate that I'm generalizing this, but I think it would be difficult to find the kind of man that you would probably really want in a true liberal man. Primarily because I think what we define as liberal today points heavily in the direction of things having to do with gender, sexuality, things that technically should go against your moral compass. And I think that a more traditional masculine man has more traditional, very defined values. So even if they accept people, they're not afraid to say that they don't agree with that, agree with it. And I think that there are a lot of men who are not willing to say, I disagree with this. I disagree with what liberal represents. And to me, that's yielding. That's yielding on some of the very things that would make, in my opinion, a man. I don't want to say, like Molly said, I don't want to say not a real man, but no,
I think a real man is an appropriate term to start using now. I used to be against the terminology real man. You're not a real man if this, a real man, but we could use it now in a world where a lot of men are literally trying to change into women, I think the term real man should go ahead and make a comeback. We should go ahead and define that because it's appropriate. Times have changed and real man is a real thing. So ladies, they can go ahead and say it. I'm cool with them saying it now. I've changed.
A foundationally strong man. So
you wouldn't want to be in a relationship with a man that's liberal, basically.
not by today's standards of what I think liberal is, no. Because I'm thinking, and I tried to not get caught up in Democrat versus Republican, because a lot of the strong men that I had as mentors growing up were Democrats, but they were traditional. Like, they were definitely traditional. So I got to say that, and I don't even know if they would have described themselves as liberal back in the day. So yeah, I wouldn't want to. Mm-mm.
Mika?
I think men can only be conservative or feminist. That's it.
Makes sense. Mika with the mic drop. Pretty much. You conservative or you feminist, champ? Anytime, listen, whenever you in a social gathering of any kind, I don't care if it's a small conversation at your workplace going on, I don't care what it is, and there's men and women involved in the conversation, and you got, 75, 80% of the men in this conversation in agreement with each other, and you got one or two dudes that's on the other side talking about, well, no, you got to see it from her point of view. Start asking those men questions about themselves. You're going to start finding out shit like this. He got 4 sisters. He ain't know his dad. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you a leader, bro. You a leader, bro. I don't know if y'all ever been in corporate America. Most jobs, it don't even matter if it's corporate. Most jobs, when they call them team meetings and the boss start telling y'all what's about to change, they're not asking y'all to vote on that shit. This what's going on. That's leadership. And y'all get to walk away from the meeting mumbling about how you don't like it and you don't understand, and then you can do whatever you want. This what's going on. That's leadership. True leaders ain't always the best leaders ain't really interested in whether or not you like them. I know I don't care about being liked. But I was called to be a shepherd, and my flock is gonna be y'all got sheep, I got goats. We different shepherds. You shepherd sheep, I got goats. Big dogs, mastiffs. You know what I mean?
I don't think that you can't be masculine and be liberal. To me, it doesn't work out the same. It doesn't work out in the same area, because you would have to go against what would be what men are.
We got a comment. Uncle Plug said, I don't put her on a pedestal. I encourage the behavior and servitude exemplified, never out my masculinity, and she is not to be out of their feminine energy. Facts. Yeah, you can't lead somebody that you've pedestalized. How does that work? I'm with you, Plug. You can't lead somebody that you've pedestalized. I think we figuring this one out. You know what I'm saying? I think we figuring this one out. Yeah. Cause I think a lot of men that are on the liberal side, they pedestalize. You know what I'm saying? They say a lot of the right things, right? Because they don't want to. It's just like when I played the clip of the dog that played B.I.G. What's bro name in real life? I forget his name, but he was on that interview and they asked him about interracial dating, and he was saying that his experience with other women that weren't black was better. And then they like halfway bullied him, like, what do you mean by better? And he's like, not better. That's a liberal man. That's an example of a liberal man. He backed out the blocks. No, say what you mean, champ, and say that shit with your chest. I didn't show up here to agree with nobody. I showed up to be me. I ain't show up here to agree with nobody. I know how to agree to disagree. That's maturity. I come away from the conversation understanding everything about your point of view. And you should do the same if you're listening to understand and not listening to agree or disagree. See what I'm saying? It's levels to communication. And a big part of communication is the listening part. But liberal men, back to digressing back to the subject, that was a great example of a liberal man when he was like, my relationships with non-black women were better. And she's like, what do you mean better? Not better, because I know where you're going with that. Like he's scared of the sisterhood or some shit. A conservative man don't give a damn, bro. They don't. Liberal men, they scared to tell you how they would feel if their son turned out like Dwayne Wade's son. A liberal man scared to tell you how he really feel as a man about that. A conservative man, he'll tell you exactly how he feel about it. Yeah. So there's levels to this shit. And guess what? A woman ain't always going to agree with no strong man, but it's in her best interest to follow. Right? Or do you want to collaborate with your lady when something important need to be made? You want to collaborate with her and get her point of view and see, and then you end up making a more emotion-based decision. And how's that going to turn out for you? How has it turned out for y'all who have tried that? I would love to see the comments on this, whether it's now or on the rewatch. How has that turned, all that collaboration when you were supposed to be leading, when you were supposed to be having your chest poked out and leading, all that collaboration, how did that turn out for y'all? I would like to know.
Supposed to be naturally, right? You're supposed to naturally be leaders. If you're following a group of women or saying, okay, women can lead too, so naturally you're going to fall back and fall into your femininity, then no, that you can only be conservative and be masculine, or you're going to be a feminist, because otherwise everything you're talking about goes against what you're supposed to be as a man. Like, I don't see it any other way.
Kim?
Hold on, before Kim go, Uncle Plug said it gets you nowhere with the collabs. Yeah. You're not even a leader. Uncle Plug, you so right, bro. I'm glad Uncle Plug in the chat today, man. Make sure y'all tap in with Uncle Plug TV on his channel too, man, because you're right, man. It gets you nowhere with the collaboration. When have y'all, listen, when you played on a sports team and they called a timeout and the team huddled up, did the coach come into the huddle and say, hey, what y'all want to do? Or did he come in and say, hey, here's what we're gonna do, and start putting it together? Hey, you going to the wing, you gonna come around off the pick. That's you calling the play. That's leadership. If you calling the play and somebody saying, hey man, I don't want to do that, that's a shitty follower. And they may need to be sat on the bench. Y'all not hearing me, man. Y'all not hearing me. Uncle Plug said she doesn't even know what to eat half the time. I ain't gonna listen. I'm staying on the fellas today. Uncle Plug said never. Yeah. That's not how that go. A leader gonna lead. You know, all these collaborative ass dudes and all that, these relationships fizzle right out because you're not even you the man she wants you. And then listen, it's not all the way on men, but I'm just staying focused on us today because this is about liberal men and are they real men? I think these dudes that's collaborating, I think they understand that they get diminishing returns. All that collaboration, man, that's the situation that end up where she want to run back to the streets on you after being with her 12 years already. She want to go back to the streets and divorce you because it's some halfway dumbass, not even a real reason. And they divorce your ass and go, because you never was him like that to her. And she yearning for that shit. Yeah, she gonna disagree sometimes. Sometimes you gotta look at your woman and tell her, I said what I said. I said what I said. This shit over with. I said what I said. Yeah. Y'all, if y'all can't do that, if you can't do that at the crib, if you can't say I said what I said and that shit be abruptly over with, that sister is a brother. Or you as a brother moving like a sister. One of the two. Let's go.
I just don't like to box.
I like your shirt, Kim.
Thank you.
Polo is timeless.
I like the way the shirt is on her. But go ahead.
So I don't I don't like to box people in that way. So, and I just don't think that your masculinity and I don't think your stance, whether you're liberal or conservative, is indicative of your masculinity. I can see where the chick in the video was going with that, and that makes sense, but I still think that you can have masculine liberals. I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
But Kim is she's like me. She's like a words matter, and like liberal just mean you're open-minded.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It says generally refers to the political philosophy that emphasizes individual rights and freedoms. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're not masculine. To me,
Do you think a man? Do you think a man?
You can
Do you
only
think
be,
a man that'll?
that's why
support-
I said you can only be conservative or feminist, because what would be considered a quote unquote liberal right now is just feminist ideology. There's nothing over there that says masculine, like absolutely nothing. If you're gonna say you are for abortions, okay, that's an issue. That's an issue as a man, as a human being. But if you're for,
I don't know. She might have went left with that one. You could be a whole masculine dude and definitely tell Shorty like, don't keep that. I never done it, but you could. I don't know about that one. She might have wanted to go a different way with her to make her point.
if you're for women doing all of the leadership roles, that tells me a lot about you there. Because why are you following me? You need to have the plan. Why am I coming up with it? That makes absolutely no sense to me. And most of those households are the reason why you have the high divorce rate. Like, it's usually liberal households with these high divorce rates. Well, she can do
Damn, I just said that.
what she wants. So since she can do what she wants, she's divorcing you, she's taking your money, all this stuff. Like, there's nothing over there in the liberal sector that screams masculine to me, that screams I have control, that I'm making the decisions. Because what I'm trying to figure out, what politician can you point to that screams masculine on a liberal side?
I understand what you're saying, right? I'm not negating anything that you're saying. I'm just saying, I just feel like you can be both. You can be masculine and you can.
That's when you know somebody not making a fact-based point. When they say, she literally just said, I just feel. I heard you. I heard all your points. I heard all your rationale. My feelings object to the reality of the situation. Because I feel different, reality is different.
I'm not here to put a label on somebody's masculinity.
But that's like saying that then the whole argument that we have about femininity. Because if masculinity is fluid like that, then so is femininity. And I don't think
masculinity is not fluid.
I'm sorry?
Masculinity is not fluid.
It's assertive.
Which is my point. So, but
assertive,
you're saying that it can be something else, and I'm saying that I don't think you can actually have all of those qualities that quote unquote liberals now today say that they have, with what they support, what they're about, their agenda, and be masculine. Because there's nothing in that states masculinity. If a man comes up to me and tell me I'm for abortion rights,
you gonna let me wear the pants around this mug, and I'm gonna tell you what to do.
don't
I'm
know,
gonna tell you go wash them dishes.
There's a lot of guys that be like, hey, you need to get rid of that
Go
baby.
get rid of that baby. What the fuck? You that masculine? Fuck that kid. What you talking about?
There's a lot of guys that are.
Guess what? Killing is masculine. They're killing babies. What's not masculine about a baby?
No. They using all type of flag words. It's over with. We got what we need. Shout out to Anton Daniels and the After Hours crew. They not about to get. Listen, he got enough subs where he got a personal YouTube rep. You ain't finna get my channel flagged. They start using all type of wild language, didn't they? Hold on, chat. But yeah, man, I think I'm in agreement with this concept that liberal men aren't real men. That's where I'm at with it. I really don't, if you feel different, please drop your POV in the comments always. We here for all type of perspectives, so we can all become more well-rounded for sure. We can agree to disagree amicably and gain greater understanding. That's why communication, that's how communication moves forward. But yeah, man, if you the type of guy where like you so open-minded that you cool if your son come home, you know what I mean, with his boyfriend Trevor, you know what I mean, and you cool with that, you a liberal guy and you entitled to be liberal. But on this side, we, if it ever became a situation where, it's dog eat dog outside, trust me, G, you're not going to be the big dog. You're going to be the one outside trying to take in too many people. You're going to be the one outside getting finessed by people that's backdooring you to take your resources. You're going to be the one outside giving people the benefit of the, man, you're going to get chewed up and spit out. You know what I mean? There's different type of men in this world, and it's for a reason. Balance needs to exist always. People serve different purposes. Everybody not meant to be a soldier. Everybody not meant to be a part of the military. Some men are just brainiacs, and you know, the protection side of things ain't really their mastery. Some men are just, you know, super alpha dominant, but you know, they may not be super sophisticated, and so they end up with a sophisticated woman to complement them in their areas of opportunity. But what I'm saying is, a masculine guy, a conservative man, he gonna be who he is, and he gonna stand in that, and that's gonna be what it is, and the results that it breed him, that's gonna be what that is too. But they're not gonna let a woman show up and move the needle for them. Oh, we should do this, we should do that, and they be like, oh well, all right, babe, you know, well, no, we're not doing that. Look, before you even pull it up, I already had a plan laid out. You got this going on. This how we can integrate those two things and make it all happen in an efficient manner. What you talking about, that's some old, you know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. If she not with that, then you know what to do. You know what to do. But that's it on the reaction, man. Let's move.
If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Harden my heart and now harden the flow.